Folks, welcome back to the channel. Doug with Stacking Investments here. Today's video, while I show you some eye candy and stuff, I'm not really going to talk about this stuff. I'll show you what I got. Yeah, these are all 44 2000 proof sets that I just picked up today. There's 44 in this box. I've already purchased and sold 54, so I went back and got another batch. That's the last of them there. They're all 2000. But today's video is going to be my thoughts on the banks, closing down coin shop, bank accounts, and it's going to be part two. I'm going to answer a few questions. My videos gained a lot of traction. I think I'm the only video that actually gave a reason why the banks would close an account. And I've seen lots of people with other videos. Nobody really gives an explanation other than they just don't like cash or whatever the stupid things the reason is. But in my original video, I'll leave a link to it down below, I pointed out that talking with my coin shop, who is actually the father has actually been inside the London exchange and has actually seen the vaults and stuff with all the silver and just vault upon vault upon vault of silver and everything. And a few years back, because we were talking about the bank closures of the LCSs and stuff, and they said it's not because you're using cash or whatever, because they had a close friend of theirs who had a chain of stores, and they had their banks close their accounts for kind of the similar reasons. You know, it was dealing with a lot of cash, but they got shut down because internally the bank was getting red flags, and they said because of a banking insider that they know who's high up in one of the big banks had let them know, because they were trying to figure out with their friend who had their banks closed with their stores, why the banks would close and everything. And the banking insider let them know that the bank doesn't want the audits. They close down accounts that could trigger red flags to have the feds come in, and it could cost the bank up to $1 million or more for the bank to go through an audit. Now, in one of my comments, somebody posted, well, they're not going to be afraid of the audit because they just write that off as a tax write-off. Well, to that person, I say, and not being mean, you really don't understand how business works. You do not want an unexpected business, something like that to come along. Because what if something like that was to happen to your business and you don't have the cash on hand or the funds on hand to cover that expense? Doesn't matter if it's a write-off or not, it could put you out of business. It could shut you down and put you out of business, even though your accounting fees and would be a write-off. You do not want something like that happening to your business, especially if it's going to be a big one. Now, Spectacular did a video with his coin shop. I had to stop watching the video because it just was beyond it's just something about it. I just couldn't listen to it. But his coin shop owner, and it wasn't the coin guy, it was the other one. I can't remember his name. He said that he went through an audit recently, turned everything over to his accountant. It took about 6 months from what he said to get through it. When it was all said and done, they said everything looked good. You know, everything's good. He said he just paid his accountant and wrote it off as a business expense. Guaranteed his accounting fees were nowhere close to $1 million. Because he's just one business that gets audited. What he also didn't state, and I would call foul if he said it was his bank doing an audit on his business, because the bank they don't have the authority to pull an audit on a client. I mean, it's just not going to happen. They don't have an authority to do that. So more than likely his audit was either a city, state, or federal government, IRS audit, and that's why it took 6 months and whatever, because most coin shops are regulated by the state, and they have to follow whatever state protocol. I was talking with my coin shop owner, and they said they have to have a precious metals license, and they have to keep track of everything that comes in. And we have certain holds, like if Like if I bring in these Englehart, if I bring this strip of Englehart bars, there's 10 here. If I bring that strip in, or I bring these Geigers, or I bring this Libertad, or I bring these Morgans, or this bar, or these Eisenhower, any of this stuff you see here, if I bring it in and I sell it to them, they got to get a copy of your driver's license, so they have name, address, this, that, and the other, and they have to keep a record of pretty much what they bought. And then, but they can turn around any of this stuff. They can come in the door, and as soon as that person leaves, they can put it in the counter or in their showcase, and they can sell it. Like, I could walk in while the person is selling the coin shop this, and as soon as that person leaves, I can ask the coin shop, what do you want for that? And they can give me a price and sell it to me like 5 minutes after the person walked out the door. No issues. Now, when it comes to your sterling silver, your dinnerware sets, jewelry, even candlestick holders, your silverware, anything sterling silver related, if it's gold jewelry, if it's like earrings, a bracelet, necklaces, rings, it doesn't matter. If it's not a coin or bullion, they have to hold it for 30 days. They have to hold it in the back for 30 days. And then on day 31, they can bring it out. They can send it off to the smelter. They can call me, or, they can call anybody that's a client of theirs who might be interested in a certain piece, or, whatever. They can do whatever they want with it. They can put it in the counter, and they can sell it after the 30 days. Now, the city, the state can do those kind of audits, the police department. And the reason they do that is theft prevention. Like, somebody breaks into a house, somebody reports, hey, my gold jewelry was stolen. Well, the police are going to go to the pawn shops, they're going to go to the coin stores and things like that, and they're going to want to look and say, hey, we want to look at your records and see if have you seen any of these items? And they keep track of it through those records. They have to keep those records. So, the kind of audit he was going through had to be a city, a state, or the IRS looking at it. So one other point the gentleman spoke of, and I don't doubt him as a coin shop. I'm sure he's a wonderful coin shop and everything, but he stated in his video that he has his anti-money laundering protocol in place. Well, a lot of people, all the coin shops do. If they're legitimate coin shops, they're going to have one, because banks are requiring that to have the account and do business. But he's stating that because he has that, his bank ain't going to shut his bank account down, and that's absolutely false. That is not true. The guy, I'll leave a link to his channel, the one that started this. He did a video where his coin shop bank accounts were closed down, his personal, his wife's account, his kids, all that were shut down. And the reason they shut down all the other accounts is because they're basically associated with the coin shop. So they close them all down, so that if they close one, you can't just go use another one. They just shut them all down. But it's not because they don't want your business. But he had his COI, anti-money laundering protocol in place. Bank had a copy of it. Give credit to Silverstacker. He interviewed Sherry, one of his coin shop owners, and she let it out that she had just went through. She hadn't talked about it in one of his videos or anything. Nobody knew about it. It was just a shock. She talked about it because the phenomenon that's going on. And she let out that her bank closed the same thing, closed her business account and all her family member accounts. But she even stated that she has the anti-money laundering program, whatever thing they go by. She says she has one of those policies in place, and the bank had a copy of it. She said when she got the new account, she had to take that down, let the bank review it. They approved it and opened her up some at whatever bank she went to, and they opened up accounts. So this guy that Spectacular interviewed said that the bank's not going to shut you down because you have that. It's simply not true. Don't fall for this stuff, folks. Do some research. And I'm not just disagreeing with him. just saying that out loud. There's proof. There's 2 videos you can go watch. The silver and gold stacker. I'll put a link to his video down below. And then Sherry from T to Silver Stackers thing. They both say they have that anti-money laundering protocol set up, and everything. So they have it, and the bank shut both of them down. And this guy is trying to say that the bank's not going to shut him down because he has that in place. Well, it's not true. So anyways, I wanted to address those few things as a part 2. I still think the whole reason is the bank just doesn't want to go through. It's not that they don't want your business. I have a business. I do heat and air and plumbing. I work for management companies. I take care of the heat and air issue and plumbing issues on properties. And there are some clients, I want their business. I really want their business. I want to do work for them. But some of the things and some of the hoops you have to jump through just doesn't make them a feasible client. And I'll get more into that because I think I'll probably do a part 3 on this video talking about this subject. I'll do a part 3, and I will compare my business and some of the hoops of why even though I want a client and I want their business, why I don't do business with them. And it's not because they don't pay. It's not because of things. It's just a protocol they have in place that makes it too aggravating to deal with them. Love the people at those places. Always got along with them. The maintenance staffs always got along with them. But because of company protocols, it doesn't make it justifiable to do business. And it's the same thing with the banks and the coin shops. The internal banking flags are going up, and those are flags that the bank set to give them a warning that, hey, something might happen and trigger a federal flag to fly out, and then we're going to be subject to, we're going to wind up being subject to an audit. And they don't want that audit. That audit is way expensive, and it's time consuming, and they just don't want to deal with it. And so I'll get into why and some comparisons with my business and why it's not that you don't want the client. It's not that you don't want their money. It's not that you don't want to do business with them. It's just certain things make it unattractive to do business with that person or that company or whatever. It just in the bottom line is just not worth it. So anyways, this video is running 12 minutes. This is actually take 2. I will talk to y'all in another video. I'll go through and show you my latest purchases and the 44 2000 proof sets. Y'all take care. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in another one.